In our journey through the Hidden Chronicles, we've decoded key terms that reshaped our understanding of prehistoric reality. Today, we dive deeper into the linguistic roots that hold the secrets of our ancient past. Let's continue the exploration.
Have you ever wondered if an entire worldview could be hidden inside a language, just waiting to be discovered? Well, today, we're going to be linguistic detectives. We're going to uncover secrets about ancient civilizations, not by digging through ruins, but by digging through the very words they used. So that's the big question we're tackling today. What secrets about what people truly believed are hiding in plain sight, baked right into the grammar and vocabulary of an ancient language? All right, so our investigation starts with one fundamental idea. Ancient languages aren't just lists of words. Think of them more like living archives, where every single term can be a clue to a belief system we thought was lost to time. We're going to focus on a specific family of ancient Arab dialects known as Alāribah. Now, in these languages, a word isn't just a simple label for something. No, it has a deep, inherent meaning that you really have to explore. It's kind of like a form of linguistic archaeology. And just to give you some context, this isn't coming out of nowhere. Previous research into these same dialects has already turned up some fascinating clues. It's shown how the words for female, man, and even father seem to point to a time when societies might have been matriarchal. Today, we're taking that exact same principle to uncover something totally different. And this brings us right to the heart of our mystery. A really widespread and profound belief held by ancient Arabs that angels, divine messengers, were actually female. So, what did this belief actually look like? Well, historical records point to a few key things. First, angels were pretty much universally seen as female. And second, they were believed to be specifically chosen by the divine. This wasn't some fringe idea either. It was a major belief right up until the dawn of Islam, and it was all captured in this one powerful phrase, that God had chosen daughters over sons. And here's the crucial part. This wasn't just some casual piece of mythology. The research we're looking at suggests this belief actually reflected a deep, profound cultural respect for the feminine itself. But, how can we be so sure? Well, the proof, as they say, is in the language. And this is the linguistic key that unlocks the whole thing. It all comes down to the subtle, but honestly really profound meaning of one specific Arabic word, Istifa. Okay, to really get the power of Istifa, you first have to compare it to the common Arabic word for choice, which is ikhtiyar. Now, that's just a general selection. You pick from a few options. Maybe it's a good choice, maybe it's a bad one. But Istifa, that's on a whole other level. It's not just picking something. It's a divine selection of the absolute purest. It's like a filtering process where only the very best remains. Let's break that down even more. The root of the word Istifa is safa, which literally means purity. So the act of Istifa is to carefully filter out every single impurity to select what is quintessential, what is most superior. It's really a choice of essence. So when we see ancient texts documenting this belief that God chose daughters over sons, the verb they use is derived from Istifa. They weren't just saying God picked females out of a lineup. They were saying that the female was the safwa, the purest, the most perfect manifestation of the sacred that had been filtered from everything else. So where do we actually find a record of this incredibly powerful belief? Well, ironically, the clearest evidence we have comes from ancient texts that were actively challenging it. And in the process of arguing against it, they preserved it perfectly for history. Now, for this analysis, it's really important to note that we're looking at a text like the Quran, not from a theological standpoint, but as a historical and linguistic document. It captured a snapshot of the beliefs that were common at the time in order to respond to them. And by doing that, it basically created a perfect historical record of this pre-existing worldview. For example, have a look at this passage. It directly says that a common practice was to give the angels female names. I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that, right? It's an unambiguous documentation of the very belief we're talking about. And the text just keeps building this picture. It says they regard the angels as female before it goes on to question the basis for that belief. But you see, the challenge itself just confirms how widespread the original idea must have been. And right here, this is the linguistic clincher. The text asks, did he choose daughters over sons? And guess what verb is used for choose right there? It's Istifa. It's using that incredibly specific, powerful word for divine, pure selection, which confirms that this exact, nuanced concept was right at the heart of that original belief.
So, let's put all the pieces together. When we combine the linguistic evidence with the historical record, the picture that emerges is, well, it's incredibly clear.
The language itself, especially that deliberate use of the word Istifa, provides what the source material we're looking at calls absolute evidence. In the ancient Arab worldview, angels weren't just seen as female, they were viewed as these celestial, luminous, sacred beings, chosen specifically because the feminine was considered the purest expression of the divine.
So let's just quickly recap the main takeaways. First off, ancient languages like Alāribah are absolute treasure troves of meaning. Second, that belief in female angels wasn't some minor detail. It was a profound part of an ancient culture. Third, and this is the big one, the specific word Istifa tells us this wasn't just any choice, but a selection of the purest possible essence. And finally, all this vocabulary points to a deep cultural veneration of the female as a sacred concept.
And all of this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If a belief this profound could be encoded in a single word, just waiting for us to rediscover it, what deeply ingrained beliefs do we hold today that are hidden, completely unseen, in the everyday words we speak?